cryptids, and cryptozoology being the study of cryptids. But what are cryptids? Oftentimes when you hear the term cryptid, your mind is immediately going to go to people who study things like Bigfoot, the Chupacabra, the Loch Ness Monster, or Champ. I love Champ. But what if I told you there is an entirely different side of cryptozoology that you may or may not have ever heard of? Because cryptids are not just some mystical, magical beings whose existence have never been proven. No, there are two other versions of what people describe as a cryptid. The first one we're going to talk about is out-of-place animals. There's a lot of animals that can be thrown into this. However, most of them have been proven to be real, so they're no longer considered a cryptid. You guys may have seen that there was a lion spotted this past month in Ireland. However, it turned out to be a dog. But stories of large cats hanging out in that area of the world are a very, very prevalent. Large cats in the UK primarily have been a very long-standing myth and tradition for time immemorial. And ooh, jump scare. I'm also going to put brown recluse on this list because people say that they see brown recluse like way out of their native range. I got bit by a brown recluse. Oh, I had to kill this spider because I knew it was a brown recluse because it looked just like a brown recluse. No, I don't have any actual pictures of it or evidence to prove that it was a brown recluse, but it definitely was a brown recluse. And it's like several thousand miles away from its native range in an area that it cannot exist in. And now we're going to talk about my favorite version of what a cryptid is. An extinct animal who is still cited to this day. One of the oldest examples of this is the Moleke Membe. This is a dinosaur that has been seen in the Congo for a very, very long time. We don't know exactly how long ago these guys were first spotted, but we do know that this artist depiction comes from the 40s. So we're closing in on 100 years worth of sightings. And in my opinion, this is the most famous example of this. This is the thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. This animal originally came from, you guessed it, Tasmania, but it also used to live in Australia, Papua New Guinea, and a few other places surrounding that area. Now, people have cited this thing for a very, very long time. And it's one of the few ones that I think could still be out there. And people look at me like I've got six heads whenever I say that. But I really do think that the thylacine could still be hanging around today. Perhaps the most famous example of a cryptid that used to be extinct is the coelacanth. This guy was found down near South Africa. This is an animal that should have been extinct several million years ago, but it turned up in fish markets. He's kind of like the best example of why people still study cryptozoology. What do you guys think? Do you guys believe in cryptids? Do you not? Do you think they could still be out there? Something like the thylacine? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.